Hello everyone, welcome back once again to this new tarot reading. This time I'm going to continue the Ateez series. This time I'm going to do the leaders reading, that is Hong-Joong. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I swear I have to get used to the names. I want to do it right, but somehow speaking in language that speaking in English that is not my native language, and also struggling with Korean. It's like it's a nice experience because I can learn new things, but at the same time I cannot help but feel a little bit insecure about it sometimes. So I hope that you can understand my interpretation very well. Maybe if sometimes I get stuck when it comes to some words. So let's start with the archetypes cards that came out for Hong-Joong. The cards that came out for him, the archetypes is the Martyr, Midas, and Prince. So let's talk a little bit about it. I believe that he has leader material, especially because of this first card that came out. That it's to be a martyr. It's not to be. I mean, it's a word that sometimes we hear it and we are like, oh, martyr equals a victim mentality somehow, and actually, it's not. It's not like that, and especially when you are part of a group, it makes sense, and it's one of the qualities that I believe that you have to own so you can be a leader is to be a little bit selfless and to always be service to others, and putting others, giving others possibilities to shine, and sometimes you being in the background, like in the corner, like yes, like supporting that, but not getting like the center or the center of attention yourself, because it's like when you are a leader, there's no need for you to be in the center, because actually the people that are leaders, they have this almost like silent kind of vibe, where you know that they have power, we know that they have influence, we know that they play a huge role, an important role, but somehow they don't flash it. They are not like, oh yes, they don't flex it. They are not like, oh yes, I'm the leader and I'm this and I'm that. No, because when you are a leader, it's not about you. Actually, it's about promoting the others, because the others are a reflection of who you are. So if the others are doing great, you too. So there's no need for you to be like promoting yourself or being like, oh yes, I'm the leader. So in this sense, it helps him a lot to have this kind of nature that is in the service of others. It's like he believes in he is like that in every aspect of his life. Actually, he knows that he has the potential. He knows that he's really good. He's a really quick learner. He he has the will, he has the power, he has the abilities, and also he has the eagerness to learn. Because I have seen that also he's a Scorpio sun with a moon in Gemini. There are a lot of moon in Geminis in this in this group, and a lot of moon in Cancer, from what I'm seeing. So it's interesting because they must be really communicative between each other, because the moon in Gemini, it's all about communicating, it's all about talking. So I'm sure there are no problems in communication within the group. Um, and actually for him it's really important to put others in, like to be always willing to serve others, like to help others that maybe are struggling, maybe sometimes they get lost, maybe they don't comprehend some things, and you need to be mature enough um, to not laugh at someone's mistake, and to be like mature enough to be able, like, yes, I can help you, like let's work it together, let's make this right. So you have to have like a certain kind of humility, you have to be humble, because otherwise people would get really intimidated by you if you are bossy, or if you are like, oh, you're supposed to get it right, you know. And especially, I always say that, especially for Moon in Gemini's, words are really important. So what you say has an important influence. I mean, what you say to others and what others say to you. So I believe it's really important to be a good communicator. And the second card that came out for him is Midas. So he obviously has the golden touch. He is really successful. He has this ability to be a creator, he can turn anything into gold. That's the Midas archetype is this a willingness to create great things, but also to be able to let it go, to deliver to others what they had accomplished, to deliver to others what they had gained. So I believe that maybe if he has some additional knowledge or maybe experience about something that the others of the group don't have it, he's really willing to share it. And that's what makes and nurtures the group and their dynamic, because of his willingness to share, because of his willingness to step out of the spotlight and being like, no, I want this, I want to share this so everyone can benefit from it, to be a little bit selfless. But I'm sure that since he is really talented, I'm sure somehow when he started, there were a lot of people that actually, like, maybe, I don't know their history, I don't know the history of the boys, but I have the feeling that since he's really talented, I believe that he had been proposed to be like to be in a higher position, or maybe to be a solo artist, or to be in a more popular company, something like that, because he has this vibe of success, and somehow he has this ability that is this kind of person that caught your attention, and is like, oh, he's really good at this, I want him in my team. So I don't know how that plays in their history. I don't know how the group was made, but actually I have the feeling that he was. Everyone was looking at him like they wanted to cast him. They wanted him in their company, and somehow he ended up choosing for the group. He ended up deciding where to stay accordingly to the members, or maybe the people that work there, because we cannot forget that despite of him being a Gemini moon, the Gemini moon is a networker, so connections are important. He's also Scorpio, so he doesn't go for the easy way. He never picks the most popular place or people. He actually likes the underground kind of companies and people, and he's a truly believer on just not choosing what everyone wants. I mean, he is really intelligent, in the sense that he knows about business, but at the same time he doesn't he's not he he doesn't like to praise others or adulate others. I don't know how to say it in English. It's when you praise others and you give them compliment so they will consider you. He's not like that, actually. He's really respectful. He respects the hierarchies, he respects people older than him, but at the same time, in his own mind, he knows his worth. He has the ability to choose. He's not desperate in that sense. And if he is desperate, he's not going to show you. He's not going to show you his weak points. He's going to show you his whole potential. And actually, he's not going to display everything because he is a Scorpio, so he's a bit of mysterious. But at the same time, he's really confident about who he is. So that's why maybe he has the Midas touch, because he knows his worth. He knows his skills. He knows himself very well. And the third card is the Prince. So he's definitely someone that is really charming. And the charm is actually one of the he just enchants people. He's an enchanter in that sense. He has this ability, like I was saying, he doesn't praise others. He's not like he doesn't adulate others, but at the same time he is really skillful. He's really smart. I mean, in a sense that he knows his way with people. I mean, he can be really nice if he wants to, but he also knows his potential. So that's where his true attractiveness comes from. Um, but because when you have the archetype of the prince, is that you are a true romantic, and also that you like to enchant people with your words, with your gestures. So for him, it's really important to um, to act in a certain way to enchant people, so people can fall for his spell. He's almost like hypnotic. There's something about him that is really alluring, that is really like you feel you can open your heart to him. And he's really attractive, but not in a conventional way, not in a physical way. He's attractive as a whole. He's attractive in like almost like in a soul kind of way. He's very soulful, he's very deep, um, but he's also very in control. So it's like you never get to know him because he knows he has the power in his life. He knows he can get more power if he wants to, but at the same time he just doesn't reveal us all his cards and all his plans at once. Actually, I believe he is a good administrator. It's like he knows when he has to like unleash his whole potential, and he knows when to back down. He knows when tone down a little bit the things. And um that's what he somehow tells the other members, to know who you are and know your worth, but not to give them all. Just let them wanting for more, or let them feeling like thirsty, like let people blown away by you, but just let them hanging, like be mysterious, be powerful, but at the same time be unforgettable, be splendid. So he definitely has a lot of charms. He's really interesting. And the cards that came out for him, it's the Six of Wands, the Prince of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Six of Coins, the Three of Wands, the Ten of Coins or Pentacles, the Empress, the Empress, the Knight of Coins, and the Princess of Swords. So a lot of swords and a lot of coins. They are going to, in the next 3 to 6 months, they are going to be working really hard to achieve a victory. Actually, he's going to be, as the leader, he's going to be really, a really, like, very, like, with his mind really concentrated on on gaining good results. So he's going to be really sharp when it comes to giving advice to the boys, and also um, like paying attention to details, and also being like monitoring everything. um, and somehow this tendency, or maybe this because they feel like they can achieve a lot, and they will feel like really inspired to win, but at the same time there's going to be a lot of pressure. So somehow he's going to be in this role where he has to be like the speaker. He has to be ready, he has to pay attention to details, he he will start to develop like some kind of um to become a little bit paranoid about small details. So that's why when you're a moon in Gemini, you are always in your mind, and your mind is working non-stop. So he will become into somehow when months go by, he will start to feel a little bit worn out, in a sense that he will feel a little bit like tired mentally, and feel really pressured, and he can like have this maybe not being able to sleep, and somehow also his way of communicating will become a little bit sharper, and somehow a little bit cruel. It's like, and it's not that he means to be cruel, it's just that the whole pressure and the stress that they're going through, and all the process is going to be really hard for him and for his mind. So somehow he will say a few things that may sound a little bit harsh for the members, but then eventually he is going to realize it, and try to change that, but he is not going to do it on purpose. It's just that he's going to reach that point where he will feel pressured, so he will start like saying a few things that maybe he didn't mean, but that's how he feels inside, and then he will eventually apologize. He will slow down a little bit, but I believe that this also has a lot to do with maybe pressure from someone that it manages, or a manager or someone that is pressuring them. So it's like, oh, you should tell this and that we should do this, and he is like the messenger. So somehow he gets really pressure from from like higher ups, and then he, like when he has to deliver the message, he does it like very in a very wrong way. But somehow they will he will recognize it, and he will like make amend with the other members, with the other boys. And also there's a possibility that they could win some kind of recognition, like and that's when they will start to feel a little bit like happier, because they definitely feel pressured, that there's a member lacking, there's a member absent. So they try to give their best, but it's not easy, because each of them are also tired. I mean, they are human beings, and they have their own worries on their own. So he definitely is feeling the pressure of being the leader, but it's more in an unconscious way. It's not that actually he is like expressing it. It's something that he is holding in his mind, and somehow it gives him insomnia. He cannot sleep. um, but then they will get a recognition, they will get like a great opportunity. So they will feel definitely like every effort they had put in was worth it. Like I think I remember when I did the overall general tarot reading for the group, I think I have said something about like they are going to be entering a new phase where new doors will be open for them and new possibilities also to gain more success. So it's going to be like a great opportunity for them. He is going to feel really good about being part of the group, about not giving up, about all the effort they had put, about maybe all the hardships that they go through, and sometimes all the those times where you feel like you are not good enough, or that you wanna make it. um, they are going through, they are like experiencing a lot of success. They are growing a lot as a group. Everyone talks about them. They have a lot of potential. um, and at the same time, when you are that promoted, when you are that valued, sometimes that state brings a lot of pressure to you, because you are like almost in this pedestal where, oh yes, these kids are so good, and you're like, oh yes, we made it, this is what we wanted. And then you start to see the pressure and the constant work, and you know, it's like a never ending process of always been running, always been like pushing and like in constant training. So it gets a little bit tiring for them. So I believe that they would need a little bit of a break if they could, after achieving all these things. If they could have like some kind of rest, some kind of vacation. It doesn't matter if it's recorded or not, but maybe they do need, because of these two cards that came out like at the end, that is the Empress and the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Coins. I believe that they need, after this whole season of winning things, they need to slow down a little bit and rest and enjoy themselves, doing ordinary things, spending time with their loved ones. I believe they need to slow down. They need to slow down mentally, physically, and emotionally, so they can go back into action again. Because, like I said, they are going to enter a period of a lot of success, and that success is going to lead to higher responsibilities and a lot of things to do, and probably Mingy will be back also, so they will need to recharge their energy, their batteries, and just come out with uh, a, a clean and brand new energy. They just cannot keep going in automatic, like nothing is happening, because the pressure can be felt. I mean, I can feel it in me, and I'm not an artist. But and the worst part is that he struggles mentally. It's just that he's like it's almost like he swallows all the worries and all the negative thinking, and sometimes that's why he sometimes when he feels pressured, or when he feels like he cannot control anything, he somehow says something that maybe comes out of the wrong way, or maybe it leads to a misunderstanding, and somehow that's a kind of a weakness of him, that he needs to work a little bit in his way of saying things, because actually he's really sweet, but somehow when he's not in a good mood, when he's a bit moody, he can be a little bit cruel. It's like that Scorpio venom comes out somehow, and he says things that is like leaves the other members like defenseless. They cannot believe that he said what he said. And actually, he is right about what he expresses, about what he says. It's not that he is telling lies. It's just that sometimes, it's not it's not fair that just because you are not in a good day, you start to point out everyone's mistakes or maybe everyone's flaws, like, oh yes, you did this the other day, I saw that you did this the other day, you didn't do this, that's why this happened, and sometimes um, it's it's sometimes members need to hear some kind of feedback and some kind of truth because they're human, they are not god like angels, and that's what I always say about when I do readings for K-pop groups. I think the fandom needs to leave the fantasy that, oh, they are a family, they are brothers, they are, I mean, yes, they spend most of the time together, but you have to be conscious at the same time that how do you relate yourself with your family members? How do you relate yourself with your brothers or sisters? How do you relate yourself with your coworkers? With your with people you go to university with? I mean, are you always happy? Are you always smiling? Are you always like agreeing to everything they say? No. So this is what happens when you put like a dynamic, when you put a group of different people, and at the same time you put pressure into the relationship. There's going to be good days and bad days. So that's why I always say it's not so we can like say, oh my God, I mean like, oh, he said something hurtful to the others. I'm not describing him as a person, and I'm not saying that he's always like that, but he has this tendency somehow to be a little bit harsh because he has this ability to know everyone's weakness because he is a Scorpio. So he sees through the BS and he sees the darkest. He says he sees your dark side, and he also sees your insecurities because Scorpio does that. So sometimes when he is pressured and when you are a moon in Gemini, sometimes you tend to talk too much, especially when you feel like stressed or you are nervous. It's like you cannot shut up. So it's like you vomit the truth, that your truth, because it's your perception of what it is. It doesn't mean that is the reality, because each of us, we have different perceptions about life, about what happens, about how we are, about who the other person is. So he has this, but especially this hasn't happened before actually. I believe it will be the first time, but it's just that he's tired mentally. He's not sleeping well, and he's trying to control everything. And sometimes when you try to control and not to collapse or not to like get out of control, you end up getting out of control because it's nature. It's nature. It's normally that they are excited, but at the same time they have so much fear within them. They have fears because they are really, I believe they are very popular. So they have this pressure of always delivering. But somehow they have to understand that they're human, and um, that they can relax and enjoy what they had accomplished so far, that they had accomplished a lot. So maybe they need to stop a little bit and smell the roses. Enjoy the ride, enjoy the experience. Just don't let others push you around or pressure you, because this is not about him. This is about others being like, oh yes, you need to tell this member, oh, you need to tell them that this and this and this. So he's like the messenger. And you know that sometimes the messenger uh, gets the worst part, because it's like the other part gets mad, and then the other part, the receivers of the messages get mad also. So it's like he doesn't win anything. So in this sense, he needs to relax a little bit, especially because he's not been able to rest actually, because it's like he's having nightmares, and he has like, because he has this unconscious fear, when you have to do something for the first time, or maybe when you don't feel so secure about, I don't know, presenting, or about doing a new activity, or starting at a new place. And somehow the night before you have to do this important thing, you spend all the night dreaming about the awful possibilities and nightmares that you could that you have experienced in the situation. And actually it's only in your unconscious, because maybe this never comes true and it never happens. But somehow, until you go through that that activity or that moment that you're so fearful of, until then you have this anxiety, you have this uncertainty about, oh, what, how is it going to go, I don't know, I'm not sure. So they need more recognition, I believe. They need, I hope that they do win some kind of award or recognition, because they definitely need to experience more recognition for their hard work. I believe they need more recognition, because it's like they had never, I mean, I don't know if they had received awards or how many awards they had received so far, but it's like somehow everyone is impressed by them, but they are not promoted enough. I don't know how I feel about it, but that's what I'm sensing. So maybe you or some 18s can like clarify this for me in the comment section. I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to leave it, guys, here, and so I will see you in the next video, which I will do the next member. So I will see you and have a great week ahead of you. Bye.